QSD from the Denver Radio Club. Welcome to the Denver Radio Club Net, being held on repeater W0TX. This is a meeting held on air every Sunday evening at about 8:30 p.m. Good evening. My name is Jim. My call sign is Kilo Zero, Tango Oscar Romeo. I'll be your net control station, transmitting from Littleton, Colorado. If there's any emergency or priority traffic during this net, say break at any pause, and the net will be suspended until the emergency or priority traffic is completed. This net is for Denver Radio Club members and all interested radio amateurs. We're here to share information concerning any ham-related activities. Regular meetings of the Denver Radio Club are held on the third Wednesday of every month at 7 p.m. at the with COVID-19, we're not meeting face-to-face. We're using Google Meets, and we have virtual meetings. So if you'd like to join us on Google Meets, you can get the access code off of our website, www.w0TXray.org. Or if you're on our mail list, you'll get an email that has that information on that. And our next meeting will be on July the 21st. And our session is held at 6 p.m. just prior to our monthly meeting. And this session addresses any amateur radio questions you might have. So whether you're new to amateur radio or interested in some new application of amateur radio, this is a session where you can get help. Also, every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m., except the third Wednesday when our monthly meeting is held, there's a learning net held on 145.490 megahertz and 448.625 megahertz. This is another area where you can find answers for your amateur radio-related questions. As a general interest club, we provide emergency communication for the Salvation Army, City of Wheat Ridge Police Department, City of Lakewood Police Department, West Metro Fire District, and St. Anthony's West Hospital. We are always looking for members who would like to participate in this support. Please contact our club president if you'd like to help. Our current president is Jerry Vilhauer, W0GV. Jerry's telephone number is 303-467-0223. The Denver Radio Club website address is www.w0tx.org. Again, Jerry's telephone number is 303-467-0223. The Denver Radio Club also participates in the ARRL Volunteer Examiner Program. But again, with the restrictions in COVID-19, we don't hold our VE testing as frequently as we had because we've got to have enough space so we can get people separated. And hopefully, not in future, we'll be able to go back to the old ways of holding VE testing more frequent and not having the restrictions. But haven't seen that okay come as yet, so we're waiting. And put out when we're going to have tests here on this net, and we also list those on our website as well. And some of the other clubs in the Denver area also pass on their testing times and dates as well. So if you're looking for a test area, just stay tuned and see if we can help you out. And if you have other questions regarding VE team, or VE testing, I should say, you can contact our team lead, Tom Koszowski, KC2CAG, and his number is 720-284-1911.
W0TX repeater.
This is the Denver Radio Club Net, W0TX, and this is K0TR serving as net control. Are there any special announcements or bulletins for the net this evening? If so, please call now. Before regular check-ins, I'd like to welcome and invite any visiting radio amateurs to check into the Denver Radio Club Net this evening. During this net, we disable the requirement for the 100 Hz PL repeater access tone, so you can use either 145.490 megahertz with a minus 600 kilohertz offset, or 448.625 megahertz with a minus 5 megahertz offset. Are there any visiting radio amateurs who would like to check into the Denver Radio Club Net tonight? If so, please call now. All right, next I'd like to welcome and invite any newly licensed or recently upgraded radio amateurs to check in. Please call now. I'll now take regular check-ins in groups, and please let me know if you have traffic when you check in, and I'll get back to you. First, radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters A through E, Alpha through Echo. Please call now.
Kilo 10, Delta Papa Romeo, Paul and Aurora.
Whiskey 0, Bravo Kilo Sierra. This is Barb in Wheat Ridge. No traffic.
N0 ETV Mobile, Lance and Aurora, no traffic.
November 5, Charlie Mike Kilo, Greg in Denver, no traffic.
Kilo Foxtrot 0, Alpha Foxtrot Quebec, Troy in Denver, no traffic.
Alpha Fox 0 Echo, Alex Bromfield.
And at control, I'd like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-ins. K0 DPR Paul, W0PKS Barb, N0 ETV Lance, N5 CMK Greg, and KF0 AFQ Troy, and AF0E Alex. Make one more call for radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters A through E, Alpha through Echo. Please call now. Net control, I'd like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-in. K1 DPC drone with traffic. Move on down the alphabet, and radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters F through J, Foxtrot through Juliet. Please call now.
Alpha 0 Juliet Kilo, AA0 JK, Fred in Arvada, good evening, no traffic.
Sir TV, Jerry Westminster.
Bravo Alpha, Eric in Hudson, no traffic.
Kilo 6 Hotel Juliet Victor, Tom, Arvada, no traffic.
Net Control would like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-ins. AA0JK Fred, W0GV Jerry, and W0IBA Eric, and K6HJV Tom. Make one more call for radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters F through J, Foxtrot through Juliet. Please call now. All right, moving down the alphabet. Radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin the letters K through O, Kilo through Oscar. Please call now.
Kilo Echo 0 Oscar Sierra India Tom Highlands Ranch, no traffic.
WG0N Dave in Lakewood, no traffic.
Net Control would like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-ins. KE0OSI Tom, WG0N Dave. Make one more call for radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters K through O, Kilo through Oscar. Please call now. Moving down the alphabet, radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters P through T, Papa through Tango. Please call now.
Whiskey Bravo 2, Sierra Hotel Romeo, Stanton, Denver, no traffic.
Kilo Echo 0, Romeo Victor Zulu, John in Lakewood, no traffic.
Net Control would like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-ins. WB2SHR Stan and KE0RVZ John. Make one more call for radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters P through T, Papa through Tango. Please call now.
November 0, Tango Romeo Papa, Jim in Lakewood. Good evening.
Net Control would like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-in. W0TRP Jim. Move on down the alphabet. Radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters U through Z, uniform through Zulu. Please call now.
KF0UV, Marshall and Glendale.
KD0WPQ, Tom and Aurora, no traffic.
KB5, YZB, Brett and Aurora, no traffic.
AC0VC, Bill and Elizabeth.
KE0, Yankee Kilo Victor, Bill in Lakewood.
Net Control would like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-ins. KF0UV Marshall, KD0WPQ Tom, KB5YZB Brett, AC0VC Bill, and KE0YKV Bill. Make one more call for radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters U through Z, uniform through Zulu. Please call out. All right, we'll do the entire alphabet. Radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters A through Z, Alpha through Zulu. Please call now. And Net Control would like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-in. N0GTG Kurt. Awful noisy tonight, Kurt. Don't know what's going on there, but did pick you out, but it was quite noisy. All right, it'll be a chance for late check-ins a little bit later in the net. And at this time, I'd like to turn our net over to our club president, Jerry Bill Howard, W0GB. Go ahead, Jerry. The net is yours.
All righty, Jim. Well, thanks for doing the net. Welcome, everybody. About the only thing I think on our to talk about here is field day, and I'm going to defer all that to Daron, our field day chair, to fill us in. I'll just say that this is a new venue, and there's information on our website, so W0TX.org, and it's all new, so we're hoping for the best, and that it comes off good. We think it will. We hope you can come out and enjoy. Bring a friend. Bring somebody that you think may be interested in ham radio. We're planning on having a get on the air station, so we should have a lot of activity, and it's always a fun time. So. The only other thing I wanted to do is I heard Bill, AC0VC, on, and thank him for a lot of work he did out at our building at Station 4 in Lakewood. We had weather damage over the years, and Bill did a repair on the building and then painted it, so it looks really nice. We will probably include a photo and stuff on the next issue of the roundtable. So, Bill, thanks for your hard work, and we do surely appreciate it. With that, back to you, Jim, and like I say, Jerome will fill us in and answer questions on the upcoming field day this next weekend. Hope everybody had a great Father's Day today. I did. We met with my daughter and had dinner and all, so it was a nice day. Back to you, Jim. W0GB.
All right, thanks very much, Jerry. Yeah, wish everybody a great Father's Day out there as well. Might be why the check-ins tonight are on the low side and a lot out celebrate. That's great. That doesn't come around but once a year, so hopefully all have a great one there. All right, K1DBC, Daron, you had traffic. Go ahead with your traffic. K1DBC, this is K02R. Thanks, Daron. We appreciate that. And I'm trying to think of the north street that normally would be the key one to take up to the field day site, but there's a good chance that those off ramps, on ramps for on I-70, that they could be under construction. So you might use that call-in frequency just to check and see, and be prepared to take an alternative route up there, because they have construction going on. I believe it's scheduled for most of the summer, so be aware of that. And yeah, we hope to see everyone up there. Want to have a good time and be looking forward to see how that site works out and what kind of propagation we get and such. Who knows? We might have a dandy. So come join us and participate in the fun. All right, I don't see anyone else that had indication they had traffic. And this is the Denver Radio Club Net, W0TX, and this is K02R, Net Control Station. Does anyone have any other comments, information, or business for the net? If so, please call now.
W0TX Repeater.
Lee checking?
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, this is Whiskey Delta 6, Delta Oscar Kilo. Rich in Arvada, no traffic. Good evening, Jim.
And Net Control Light Technology, and welcome to the following check-in. WD6DOK Rich. And we'll have a chance here for late check-ins a little bit later in the net. In fact, they'll be coming up next after we get done here, but any time is fine. Before I move on, I'd make one more call. Does anyone have any other comments, information, or business for the net? If so, please call now. All right, do we have any late check-ins? Please call now.
Jim W0GV.
SW0GV, go ahead, Jerry.
Okay, I thought I'd just fill in a little bit where you kind of left off there. You know, as far as the closures, it's kind of up in the air. We don't really know. I've been watching the CDOT website, but there's a possibility that the ramps coming off of I-70 at Ward Road and Ward Road will be closed. So I put some alternatives on the website, so you might look at those. I put two alternatives, but like Jim said, it'd be a good idea to check in on the talk-in frequency, and Mark N0XRX is going to be monitoring that. And but if you're not familiar on that part of town, what I suggested is you get off at Kipling, which is the exit before Ward Road if you're going westbound on I-70. So get off at Kipling, go south to 44th Avenue, and which is just a couple of stoplights, and then go west on 44th Avenue to Ward Road, and then north to 52nd Avenue and west to the Field A site. So not hard, just if you're not familiar out there, it could be a little confusing, I suppose. And it may be wide open. We'll just have to wait and see what they do. W0GV, that's it.
W0GV, this K02R. Yeah, thanks, Jerry. I don't know what, but mine just went blank when I tried to remember Ward Road. Ward Road, but that's the way it goes. But yeah, a couple weekends I went up and you could see there was construction going on in that area, but they were open at that time. So who knows? Just depends on what they got scheduled. So just be aware. That's the key thing. All right, I'll now go through and cover any Hamfests. Don't see any Hamfests on the calendar, so we're hoping here that it starts to open up here pretty soon. We'll start to get a chance to get off and do some face-to-face and look for some of that equipment we've been needing so badly. So, but boy, there's got to be a lot of wish lists out there now with all the time we've had to wait and trying to get a chance to get out there and find this and that we needed so badly. So let's hope for the best. As far as next weekend's contests, we don't have a whole number of those. Primarily, I guess, because the big event going on next weekend is going to be the ARL Field Day. So there's going to be a lot of competition out there for other contests. So let's see, the first one I got on is the SKCC Sprint, and that begins on June 23rd at 0 hour Zulu, goes through June 23rd until 0200 hour Zulu. That's on 160 through 6 meters. That's a CW contest. And next we have the RSGB 80 meter club championship. That begins on June 24th. I'm sorry. Got the wrong one there. Forget that. Got the wrong part of my page. Let's see, the next one I've got is the Ukrainian DX Digi Contest. That's going to start on June 26th at 1200 hour Zulu, go through June 27th until 1200 hour Zulu. That one's on 80 through 10 meters, and that's a digital contest. And let's see, we've got UFT QRP contest. It begins on June 26th at 0600 hour Zulu, goes through June 26th until 1700 hour Zulu. That's on 80 through 10 meters. That's a CW contest. And we have the Ukrainian DX Digi contest. That begins on June 26th, 1200 hour Zulu, goes through June 27th until 1200 hour Zulu. That's on 80 through 10 meters, and that's a digital contest. And next we have the His Majesty's King of Spain contest. That begins on June 26th at 1200 hour Zulu, goes through June 27th until 1200 hour Zulu. That's on 160 through 10 meters, and that is a phone contest. And then the one I mentioned earlier, the ARRL Field Day, begins on June 26th at 1800 hours Zulu, goes through June 27th until 2059 hours Zulu. That's on all bands, no work bands, and that will be CW phone and digital. So need to make some contacts. I'll tell you, it's going to be busy coming this weekend. So get on, enjoy it, and even better yet, join us on Field Day at our club site and have a chance to get out and see some of your cohorts, fellow hams, and enjoy some food and cold drinks, and get on the air and make some contacts. So look forward to seeing everybody out there. The Denver Radio Club maintains the following repeaters for use by all radio amateurs: 147.330 megahertz with a positive offset, the 145.490 megahertz with a negative offset, a 224.380 megahertz with a negative offset, a 449.350 megahertz with a negative offset, a 448.625 megahertz with a negative offset, a 447.825 megahertz with a negative offset. Our digital turbo repeater operating on Brandmeister on 446.7875 megahertz with a negative offset, and our C4 FM digital repeater on 449.775 megahertz with a negative offset. The 447.825 megahertz repeater is configured for narrowband FM, and that requires a digital coded squelch of 073. There are two repeaters on 147.330 megahertz. The repeater in Lakewood requires a 100 hertz field tone, and the second repeater located east near Franktown requires a 131.8 hertz field tone. We have a second repeater on the same frequency out east to improve coverage along the Front Range and into the canyons. However, having two repeaters on the same frequency that have different frequency propagations, we ask that you monitor the frequency to ensure neither is in use prior to making your call. The 449.350 megahertz repeater provides wide area coverage, and this repeater hosts our Echolink station, W0TX node number 4140. And the 448.625 megahertz repeater is linked with the 145.490 megahertz repeater. The repeater on 449.775 is now a C4 FM digital only repeater. Each repeater requires a 100 hertz field tone for activation except as noted, and each uses standard offsets. And for packet, we have the 145.050 megahertz gateway on 2 meters that is interconnected with the 14.105 megahertz gateway on 20 meters for packet QSO. And we have a 6 meter repeater on 53.09 megahertz with an input on 52.09 megahertz with required 107.2 hertz field tone. Your support of the Denver Radio Club is greatly appreciated. If you'd like to participate in any of the many club activities, please contact our club president, Jerry Bill Howard, W0GV. And I'd like to thank everyone for checking into the Denver Radio Club Net tonight. Your support is greatly appreciated. I hope you have a great week, 7-3. And tonight we had a total of 24 check-ins, and the Denver Radio Club W0TX Net is now closed at 9:04, and repeaters available for regular use. This is K0TR, your net control station. And please stand by a moment while I return the PL tone to the repeater.
PL on.
And this is K0TR. I'll be clear. Good evening to all.